Hi everyone, my name's Angie. Welcome to my channel. Today is Saturday, March 4th, and I just want to, before I get started, say thank you to all of my subscribers, how much I appreciate the comments and kind words, the thumbs up that you're giving me, because that really keeps me excited and about what I'm doing, and it makes me feel like the effort I'm putting in, is appreciated, and I appreciate you, and I don't take that for granted. So I really want to thank you for that. And today I'm going to be doing a meal prep video. This is my second one. It's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be filming the food and not filming me like the last one. I think it'll go a little faster that way, and then I'll come back and explain everything in the voiceover. So let me know which style you like the best, because I'm okay with either one, but I know some people like one way and some people like another. So this is all about a learning process and experimenting and seeing what people like. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this week's meal prep, and I hope you enjoy the video. I'm gonna start this meal prep out by soft boiling some eggs. I'm gonna put about 8 eggs in here, and then I'm gonna add a cup of water, and then I'm gonna put the lid on sealing. And I think every pressure cooker has an egg maker setting, so I'm gonna select mine, and that for me is 4 minutes. And then I let all the pressure out, and I put my eggs into an ice bath and let them rest for 5 minutes, and then the shells come off perfectly. I love doing my eggs this way, and I love having soft-boiled eggs on hand, either for a snack or for tuna salad later in the week. Here I'm about to make some zucchini muffins, and this is probably my 4th time here making them, and they're really good. These are one of my favorite muffins to make. This is actually a bread recipe, but I have always made muffins with it, and they turn out really good. So right now I am shredding 1.5 cups of zucchini, and you can use a hand grater to do this, or whatever it is you usually grate your food with. The food processor works really well. And then after you grate the zucchini, you'll want to put it in like a cheesecloth or something where you can squeeze out as much liquid from it as you can, so that your bread doesn't get too moist. I actually forgot to do that this time, but they turned out fine. So I'm gonna measure out 1.5 cups of the shredded zucchini. And I'll have all these recipes in the description below. Alright, now I'm getting ready to sift out my dry ingredients. So this is 2 1/4 cups of almond flour, and you really want to sift it because there's a lot of chunks of stuff that don't get mixed up well if you don't sift it. And then I'm gonna, so this is the 4th cup. Then 2 tablespoons of coconut flour.
then the sweetener, 3/4 cup sweetener, and I use the erythritol, which is an allulose blend. You really want to sift that out because that gets some hard chunks in it sometimes. And then I'm gonna grab 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then I'm gonna set that aside, and I'm going to get 5 eggs in a separate bowl without the shell. And then I'm gonna beat these eggs. Then I need to get 1/2 cup of coconut oil or melted butter. So I'm using coconut oil. I'm gonna warm that in the microwave. While the coconut oil's melting, I chop up 1/2 cup of walnuts and 1/2 cup of pecans. And I add that to the dry ingredients. And then I add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I bake these at 350 for 33 minutes, and that's what they look like when they come out. Okay, now I'm starting on some yogurt almond pound cake. This calls for 3/4 cups of Greek yogurt. I'm using the Too Good vanilla yogurt. And then I'm gonna grab 3 eggs, room temperature. Start mixing those in. This cake was very good also. First time making it. One teaspoon of vanilla. 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of coconut oil melted. You could probably use butter also. I'm gonna warm forgot to add the tablespoon, so I stuck that in after. Now I'm getting my almond flour ready. So I'm gonna sift in 2 cups of almond flour. Stick in there. And then 1/3 cup of the erythritol sweetener, or whatever sweetener you use. Make sure you sift it. Hard bumps out. I'm gonna add the oil that I melted. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using the Himalayan salt. You're gonna set your oven to 350. Get your loaf pan ready. You bake it for 40 to 50 minutes, and this is what it looks like. Okay, now I am going to start on making my slider buns. I'll start by sifting 1.5 cups of almond flour. Four eggs. One tablespoon of baking powder. This recipe is by Low Carb Love. All these will be in the description. And 1 dash of salt. And then I'm using a muffin top pan that ended up being the perfect size. This is a really smooth, nice batter. It was my first time making these, and I was really impressed. The flavor was good, they held together well, they look good. I'll definitely be making these again. And she said the recipe makes 8. I got 10 out of it. Here I'm just putting everything but the bagel seasoning on the tops of some of them, and then on the other half I'm gonna put shredded cheese just to make them look pretty. These are gonna bake at 350 for 12 to 15 minutes. And that's what they look like. To the pressure cooker, I added 1 cup of water and 4 chicken breasts. I'm gonna put the lid on and put it on sealing. Then I'm gonna select 17 or 18 minutes. 18. And then I do a quick release when it's done, and I shred the chicken. So now I have a saucepan out. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter to the saucepan. I'm cutting up a medium onion. I'm gonna cook the onion in the butter until it's translucent. Okay, here it's translucent, so I'm going to add in some salt. And this is going to be a little over 2 cups of sauce. I'm making the sour cream sauce for the enchiladas. And I'm adding pepper, so salt and pepper to taste. And then I'm adding 2 tablespoons of arrowroot flour because I don't like xanthan gum. And this works good as a thickener. So you just want to mix that in well to the onions because we're going to be adding 2 cups of chicken broth. So that's 1 cup, and then you don't see it, but I add a 2nd cup. So that thickens up. Then you remove it from the heat and you add 1 cup of sour cream and you mix that well into it. And then after this, it's not on camera, but I go shred my chicken. So I'm mixing that up well. And this is what, if you're not on low carb, if you want to use corn tortillas, you dip the corn tortillas into the sauce before you put each one into the plate. And I do 6 on the bottom, then I put the filling in, and then I do 6 tortillas on the top. But since we're doing keto, I'm not doing tortillas, so we're just gonna add the sauce to the bowl instead of doing that. So I'm adding 1 can of diced green chilies, and I use the mild ones. And then I'm adding half a packet of taco seasoning, or 3 tablespoons. And then I'm gonna start by adding 1 cup of the sauce. And mix that up, and then I'm going to add 1 cup of shredded cheese. And then I end up adding another cup of the sauce, and then I add all my chicken in, which it's not going to be shown on camera, but I add all the chicken to it. And then I just layer all the mixture goes into the casserole dish, and then I top it with the last bit of sauce, and then I add cheese to it, and that's what it looks like. So you bake it at 350 for 25 minutes.
Okay, so this wasn't recorded, but this is a fruit dip that I'm going to use with these strawberries. So I'll have all these recipe links in the description below. So this is everything that was made. I've got the zucchini muffins. I've got the pound cake, the fruit dip, the buns for the sliders, the chicken enchiladas, the sliders, and hard-boiled eggs.
So everyone, that wraps up this week's meal prep. I'm trying to give some variety each week, and I hope you enjoyed it and it gave you some motivation and inspiration to meal prep for your week ahead. Even if you can't prep as much as I did, just start out small and prep a little bit. Every little bit helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week with some more delicious recipes. Bye!